Hi there, I'm Andre from Peak Motorcycles and I'm here in the Peak District and the sun is shining. It's the beginning of August 2024 and I'm here to do my first look video at this bike that is over my shoulder. So this is the 2024 CFMoto 450MT and this is a bike I've been quite excited about ever since I saw it at EICMA last year. There's been huge interest in the bike itself and I even ordered one. I ordered mine on January the 6th and it's still not here. So that has been a bit of a problem. I'm still working through that with the dealer. I understand my bike will now be coming, but I won't say any more about that for now. I think let's see how the next few weeks go, and that will be the subject of another video if required. A nice chap called Murray got in touch, said he'd got one, ordered his in March, just happened to get it at least a month, if not 2 months before mine, and he said he would come up, he lived locally, if I wanted to have a look. So this is a video about his bike. I'm getting a blue and white one with the pink highlights. This is the grey and black with the yellow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a close-up look around this bike, and then he's even said I can take it for a ride. So here we go. This is a close-up look at the final production UK road legal CFMoto 450MT. Like I said, a chap called Murray has brought this up, which is very kind of him, and I'm just going to show you exactly how the finished version looks. So I'm expecting a few changes from what I saw at EICMA, but I'll just try and focus on the bike itself. So it's got that sort of double exhaust at the back with two different pipes. Coming down, you can see that ABS sensor on the top of the swing arm. It's a J1 rear caliper. I see them on quite a few bikes. I know they're at sort of the lower cost end, but they certainly seem to work. Here we have the rear pillion hangers, and I think a few of the details on here, just like looking at the quality of the welding. Now, that's on the subframe. As you can see, it is a bolt-on subframe. I mean, I wouldn't have really expected anything different because they also make bikes for KTM. Coming down, you can see there's a couple of exhaust protectors. There's that one there, and then a lower one. Around the foot pegs, as you can see, they've kind of got some teeth on the edges of them. They are quite wide with rubber inserts. There's also an articulated brake pedal, which is nice to see at this price point. Now this one does have a rear reservoir guard, which has been added by Murray. If I show you the shock in there, you can see it's got the remote reservoir. And if I come underneath here, can we show that? Just about. Now if you can see, there's a couple of different holes, so you can actually lower the bike by 20 millimeters just by adjusting where that pin goes through the shock. Right then, coming up and around the side, so you can see it does have some crash protection. There's the plastic bits at the side, and then there is an alloy bash guard under there. Coming up, he has added these side panels, which I understand are an AliExpress special. The same with the tank pad. Now, coming up and looking at the bars, these are the stock mirrors. And what is nice is that these are movable, and they have these sort of lock-off positions. I tend to run double take mirrors on my bikes, but actually I think if I got those, I'd probably just stick with them. Right, I'll carry on around this side. So it does look quite wide. At the top, it does have that big sort of piece of bodywork, that big fairing on the side there. It does look a bit exposed if you had a drop, but then you get that on the Norden 901 and the other KTM bikes, which I think are designed by the same design studio. Coming around the front, you've got the KYB shocks, which are adjustable. You've got the ABS sensors. You can see it's got the J1 has a 21-inch front wheel with a 1990-21 tyre on it. The tyres themselves, they look a bit like the Pirelli Scorpions, as you can see, but they aren't. Coming up at the front, it does have these LED headlamps. Now this is the standard windscreen that's on there. He's added this little wing at the top, which he said is good for up to 70 miles an hour with no buffeting. That is just on a mechanism like that. And it does actually go up quite a long way. I don't know if you can see that on there. The other thing that he'd done is he'd added this extra bracket, so that is not stock. That is another AliExpress special, I think, which has just allowed him to move his nav a little bit further forwards. Right, I'll continue down this side. Not a lot else to report here, really. The same crash protection. There is also the same on the gear lever, has an articulated end, same pedal with the rubber inserts, and then yeah, looking down to the back and up. So I see there's a keyhole there, which I assume is to remove the seat to get to things. What I would say is that the bike does look quite big. You know, it's not a small bike. It is quite wide around by the fairing at the front, but then it does have this very low seat height. So coming over the top, this is the low seat or the standard seat. It has these grab rails, and then there is a standard sort of flat rack underneath that, but what we have here, he does have a top box on it, and that's the plate for the top box. So looking in here, this is the standard dash. This is his phone mount that he's added to the bike. Just coming around the side, I can see there is a USB socket in there that just has a USB-A. Coming up here, the switch gear, you've got the ABS on and off, that's really handy. The buttons to run everything else. And coming around this side, we just have the starter and the emergency blinkers. What I did notice is that you also have a windscreen adjuster on that side, which means you could in theory do it with either hand, which is quite a nice touch. Right then, what I'm going to do is just start it up and let you see the start screen. There we go. Now in this daylight, I don't know how easy that is to see. That is actually quite clear for me, actually standing beside the bike. It's a very high resolution TFT. You know, the yellow stands out well, as does the white on the black. So yeah, this has done 362 miles so far on this bike. I can see it's got the traction control light, the ABS light, but I think that's just because the engine is not running. The only other thing I want to look at is to show you what's under the seat. Pop that in there. There we go. That comes off pretty easily, not really like anything. So under here we have basic tools, little toolkit sort of up there at the back of the mudguard. Coming down this side, we've got the diagnostic port in there. We've got all the electrics sort of high up. We've got the battery canted backwards, but again, it is pretty much the highest point on the bike. And I do like touches like that. A few manufacturers lately have come up with adventure bikes that have batteries down low at the front of the bike, and for water crossings that's never going to be ideal. And I think that is even the air intake just ahead of that, so maybe that's easy access to do air filter changes. Other than that, you just get this big tank. There's the tank mounting at the front, up and over, you know, with a lockable fuel cap, which I know sounds silly, but the CRF300 does not come with a lockable fuel cap. The last thing you can see in here, just try and give you a bit more of a close-up, is the suspension adjustment, both for compression and rebound damping. So I think that is it. I will just give you a quick look all the way around the bike, just to give you another sort of chance to see everything a bit further away instead of my shaky close-ups. Yeah, I just think that looks really, really tidy. I'm glad they've come out as well as they have. Sometimes when you see these bikes in their concept form at a show, and then you see the final finish version, and they've sort of really taken the edge off it, but in this case, I don't think they have. I think that looks like a cracking piece of kit. There are still some supply problems, but that is not what I'm going to focus on today. Let's see if my bike turns up. So that is it. That is my first look at the 2024 CFMoto 450MT. Yeah, I think it looks great and I can't wait to ride it, so I'm going to go and do that now. That will be in another video, so hopefully this has been interesting and useful. If it has, please check out my other content and maybe I'll see you there. Thanks for watching.